Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to all in your Secretariat's practice class 12th standard. As you can see this slide, today we are on the lesson number 9. Lesson name is depository system. So today we are going to complete the another topic from the lesson number 9. So what is today's topic? Today's topic is related to the concept and terms related to the depository system. So as you can see this slide, first concept is related to the dematerialization. So what is the dematerialization? So demat is a process where the physical security is converted into the electronical form. So what is given in this paragraph? We can see that demat is a process where a client can get the physical certificate converted into the electronical mode. Both the meaning is same. That means the securities can be converted from the physical mode to the electronical mode. So what client has to do? The client means investor has to submit the physical certificate along with the DRF form. If you want to convert your securities into the electronical form, then the client has to surrender the certificate along with the DRF form. The DP, that means the depository participant forwards the form to whom? To the depository, and the depository forward the form to the issuer company. So after the confirmation from the issuer and the depository, the securities will be credited into the demat account through the DP. So overall, dematerialization is a process where the securities can be converted from the physical form to the electronical form with the permission of the depository and the issuer company after the confirmation. Second concept, that is the rematerialization. Rematerialization is the opposite concept from the dematerialization, where the security is converted from electronic to the physical form. So we will read the paragraph first and we will try to get the meaning. So remat is a process where a client get his electronic holding of security converted into the physical form. That means here you are converting from electronic to the physical mode. The client has to submit the return application. That form is called as the remit request form. To whom? To the depository participant. The depository forward this form to whom? To the issuer company, that means the honor company and the depository organization. So on the request of the form, issuer company has to print the certificate and send it to the client with the confirmation of the acceptance of the request form to the depository. The depository work through the DP, and the DP will debit the account of the client with those security which has been converted from the electronic to the physical mode. Now the third point, fungibility. So first of all, we have to understand the meaning of the fungibility. What do you mean by the fungibility? We have already discussed about the share, where we said that shares has a distinctive number for the identification of the security. But in the dematerialization process, shares do not have, or maybe you can say securities do not have any distinctive number. Those shares are fungible in nature, which means equality in all securities. So we will read the paragraph first. In the financial term, fungibility means the state of being interchangeable. Some financial assets are fungible in nature and some are not fungible in nature. First point related to the fungibility. There is an example related to the land. Land is not fungible in nature. Reason is that why? Every land has a unique quality. It may be a reduced value or maybe a added value of the land. That means there is no equality in the land example. Second point, in the B section, currency note is fungible in nature as there is no difference between the two currencies note of the same value. Whenever you will compare the same value notes, there is no difference between the two currencies, so it's a fungible in the nature. Similarly, the securities issued by the company have the same value and the same class. That doesn't matter who is the owner of the security. So the security held in the demat and the electronic form are called as the fungible in nature. They are interchangeable. Substitute cannot be distinguished from each other. That means there is no difference between the one security and the another security. There will be a equality with the word of the fungibility. Security bear no notable feature like distinctive number, certificate number and the folio number. So overall you can say that in the physical mode of the certificate, in this physical mode of the security, a company have to maintain the distinctive number, folio number for the identification purpose. But at the time of the dematerialization, when the securities kept by the company in the electronic form, there is no requirement for the distinctive number and the folio number. So there is a fungibility, that means the equality in the securities. Fourth point, international securities identification number. So what is ISIN number? ISIN number is a unique code which carry the 12-digit alphanumeric identification number allotted for the securities. Who provide the ISIN number? The relevant national numbering agency in each country issue the ISIN number. So it is accepted by all the countries in a today's timing. So overall you can say that ISIN number code used to identify the security of the company or the funds. Let's read the paragraph first to understand the another meaning. First of all, as I told you, first point, ISIN number क्या है? It is a unique identification code which is specified the securities of the company. Second point, ISIN number is in any countries are allotted by the every country which is maintained by the national numbering agency. Third point, ISIN number is a standard numbering system which is accepted by the globally. That means each and every country is using the ISIN number for the identification of the company, for the identification of the investor. Fourth point, the International Organization of the ISO define the ISIN number structure. Fifth point, in India, who provide the ISIN number to the companies? SEBI to NSDL. And the SEBI works as the NNA, that means National Numbering Agency. Sixth point, for the government securities, that means if the company is related to the government securities, then the allotments of the ISIN number is done by the RBI. Seventh point, ISIN number consists, as I told you, it consists the 12 digit with the alphanumeric code which is divided into the 3 parts. Eighth point, the company has to apply for ISIN for its security with documents like the prospectus. That means ISIN number is accepted by the globally for each and every company for the identification of the securities or the funds of the investor. So summary of the video, today we have learned about the concept and the terms related to the depository system. Remaining topic from the lesson number 9 we will continue in our next video. Thank you for watching.